And Daniel did. He joined reform groups. He testified before committees. He lobbied for community policing reform. He worked with civil rights lawyers, not to erase his shame, but to turn it into purpose. And through it all, Jamal watched, still healing, still hurting, but watching. And then, one day, Jamal stood outside the precinct with a speech in his hand. He looked at the crowd. "My father arrested me because I look suspicious, but I am not a suspect. I am a son, a student, a human being. And it's time we stop judging books by the skin of their covers." The crowd erupted. Tears streamed down Daniel's face. But the story isn't over, because something happens next that will shake their world again. A twist neither of them saw coming. So if you've stayed this far, don't stop now. Episode 5 will break everything wide open. Subscribe so you don't miss the final part of this story. And tell us in the comments, what do you think happens next? What would you do if you were Daniel or Jamal? We'll see you in the final episode. He stood there, motionless. The sun had begun its descent, casting long golden shadows across the quiet suburb. Officer Daniel felt his knees weaken as the truth that had been slapping him across the face for the past few days now screamed in his ears. He had arrested his own son, Tyrese, that same infant he had once rocked to sleep in a hospital room 17 years ago. He had seen the resemblance, but denial had clouded his judgment. He had felt something something unsettling deep in his gut when he pulled that young man over, but his training had overridden his instincts. Now, those instincts mocked him. A phone call had changed everything. "Dawn, there's something you need to hear. I think you arrested our son." He remembered nearly dropping the phone. All the years he had begged God for a second chance to meet his child. All the guilt he buried in police paperwork and long hours. All the pain he told himself was righteous suffering. And now, in the cruelest twist of fate, their first reunion had been with him in uniform and Tyrese in handcuffs. Daniel dropped to his knees. He didn't care that he was in uniform. He didn't care that neighbors watched from their porches, confused and silent. He wept because the cost of assumptions had never felt heavier. The door behind him creaked open. Tyrese stepped out slowly, hesitant. He'd been released on all charges after the truth came out. Community outrage had exploded, but he stayed quiet. Not because he was weak, but because the noise inside him was louder than the protests.